Hi, everybody. This is Jan Stringer, and I'm very excited to be here with two of my most favorite people in the world, Julia Steggy, the magical marketer. Yay, Julia! And we got Alan Hickman, the other magical marketer. uh,
That's me.
I don't. We call him the world's greatest cheerleader, so that's his claim to fame. And of course, myself, Jan Stringer, I'm the founder of Perfect Customers, and we're doing a fun little interview here today that we think will give you a little bit of a buzz, a burst of energy in your day, and it'll also give you some valuable things that you can put to work in your business right away. So before we get started, and I want to introduce Julia in just 1 minute and tell you all the wonderful things about her and why we wanted to particularly do this interview with her today. But just to check out and see if you're in the right seat of the airplane today, let's see. How would you know if you're in the right place today? Would be if you're someone who hasn't been able to quite get your business off the ground.
Or if you're somebody who, you're not sure if you have the right message.
Or perhaps you've been struggling and don't know what it takes to really be that six-figure, seven-figure business that you've really been desiring to be.
A lot of people also talk to me about the SACAT program has taken the mystery out of their business.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. A lot of people have also talked to me that they're a bit of a fog about their business, or that they're ready to drop, this was one of mine, drop their cloak of invisibility and really come out and be seen.
Yeah, and be seen, that requires like having a website, that you're looking to design, uh, and you need to get your message right.
That's right. What about the products and packages? After you get all of that together, you've got to have the perfect package to deliver to your perfect customers as well.
Yeah, and another thing, Jan, that I've noticed a lot of people talk about is that they feel like they're alone. Because we've got the computers and all this amazing technology that's available to us, a lot of us end up spending a lot of time behind the computer screen. And so we really need that community, supportive people around us that are like-minded and like-hearted.
That's a good one. So you know you're in the right place today. If any of that has resonated with you, or you know it to be true for you in some form or fashion, or you're just ready to come out, be seen, drop that cloak of invisibility, easy for me to say, and maybe be a speaker. That was something for me. I was ready to come out and be seen. And what we're going to share with you today actually gives you something that you can deliver to an audience that has a compelling topic and title that draws the people to you. So
Yes,
that's
something that's
what,
universally understood by
yeah,
everyone when you say it.
good way to say it. So who are we to be making all these bold claims today? And I'm just going to say right off the bat that who you're looking at in your screen today are the experts. And I know personally I'm an expert in sales and marketing and law of attraction. Alan, what are you an expert in?
Well, I like to call myself the cosmic connector. And I've discovered that I really am an expert at connecting people with the resources that they need and connecting them with themselves and settling them into the role, what I say, the role of their spiritual selves. So my best expression for that is I'm an expert at cosmically connecting people.
Ooh.
Ooh. And
Bold, bold statement, I understand.
so, to our good fortune, we've been able to cosmically connect, you could say, using the law of attraction because certainly we love the people that we work with. And Julia Steggy is one of those people. She is the owner and the founder of a branding expert company. She has turned her business into a global success. She's made well over $1 million doing what she loves, and we're here to share some of her secret sauce and peek behind the curtain of how the SACAT, which stands for Strategic Attraction Certification and Training Program, the SACAT, as we call it, has been a benefit to her in her been one of the building blocks for her business success. Julia is going to tell you a little bit about her business in just a minute, but I wanted you to know that when we first met Julia, or I really had an opportunity to get to know her, was at our very, very first SACAT retreat. And when we spent a few minutes really delving into what each person is all about, what makes them tick, the one word that I remember the most that stuck with me about Julia is that love is in the house when Julia's around. And so whenever Julia comes to call, we always say, "Yay, love is in the house." So,
Love is in the
Julia,
house.
welcome. And would you give everybody just a little introduction to who you are from your perspective, I guess, and a little bit about your business?
Sure. Thanks, Jan. Well, I'm Julia Stege. I'm the magical marketer, and I help spiritually inspired entrepreneurs to clarify and express their purpose through branding and websites that attract their soul tribe and inspire them to connect from all over the world. And my belief is that when change makers share our purpose through our marketing, that's how we can really impact the world and transform lives. Just even sharing our purpose is an inspiring activity for everyone who's present. So that's what actually figured that out at the SACAT retreat, that what our purpose and what makes us tick really should be the brand. And so in the past 10 years, that's how I've been focused, is in helping people to share what's essential to them through both their visual brand and their messaging, to really inspire those divinely aligned, perfect customers to connect with them.
Right.
So that's
Beautifully
what I'm up
said.
to.
Yeah, that's some good stuff you're doing there. And I love what I see that you produce, and I've really been seeing your tribe expanding larger and larger. So you've
Yeah,
got a
I
really
have
amazing
too.
following. That's so. One of the things we wanted to do in our call today is what we were describing as giving a sneak peek behind the curtain. And what we're talking about with that is what is the secret sauce that is the heart of our SACAP program, and it's different for every person. So I'll just share what I'll share what it is for me. Alan will share for what it is for him, and Julia, when you're ready, I want to hear what you think was really that key element that helped you to really build that successful business. So who wants to go first? Say, pick me.
Pick me, pick me.
Alan, you're picked. Okay, you go first.
You know, Julia, you really are the poster child for the SACAT program. And I know hopefully we'll get a chance to have you tell some of your stories. But I feel really blessed to have been present when you were first making your transformation, whatever the word is, from Madison Avenue, New York City, working with magazines, big name magazines, etc. And you had a desire to shift from all of that and start making a difference for people. And I remember that first conversation that we had where it was like, oh, well, maybe I don't have to give up all of my graphic design experience and all of my wealth of information, etc., to become a life coach. Maybe I could do something that would allow me to put the two together and produce the result that I'm looking for. I just remember that conversation and then a number of conversations between then and now as I've seen you take the strategic attraction planning process, use it in your own life and business, and then use it in such a creative and imaginative ways to share the power of this process with your perfect customers. magically, seemingly magically. It does. It seems like magic what you do with people's you know,
Where's
people's
mine? I need
websites.
some toys. Hold on.
See?
Getting my toys now.
Magic in the house.
And so it's been just really fun to see you actually manifest that which you said you wanted to manifest. And it's a process.
So, Alan, back to, I love all that. And what did you see in all of that that you think that brought us to this secret sauce question? Did you see in
Well,
Julia?
I'm not
What do
sure.
you
What
see?
is the secret? What exactly is the secret sauce that you're referring to?
Uh, Remember how we rehearsed in the before the call?
Yes, well, we said
Okay.
we were.
Well, I'll tell you what I think it is, because somebody said it on a call, so I just really copied this from them, and I'm like, and sometimes I don't always know what it is that we're really providing to people. You've got to have a community that mirrors that back to you. And when they mirror it back to you, you're going, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Well, truthfully, what I've seen in thousands of people that we've been working with, and this is our 15th year in business. And I've worked with so many people, and I would say there's some things that remain true over that period of time. What I've seen is strategic attraction planning works every time. That's one thing I've always seen. Even if some people don't like go to the depths of their soul with strategic attraction planning, they still get a result that I think is beneficial, more beneficial than if they hadn't used it. And the other part of it, that people that just really do all 5 parts of the attraction plan for themselves and start to apply it in a very simple, basic way, that it is the path to and the map. It's like a roadmap to enlightenment. Because people that do our strategic attraction plan, I see they're waking up, they're being more aware, and they get that clarity factor that makes them more able to know exactly what they want, what's perfect for them. So that to me is the secret sauce.
Yeah, okay. So that's kind of what I was seeing in Julia's evolution, if you will. That the strategic attraction planning process, and especially the SACAT training, the certification training that provides all of the resources, the sound business materials, but the community of like-minded, like-hearted people. It just seems that all the pieces come together with the strategic attraction planning process, and it works 100% of the time, all the time. And that really to me is the secret sauce. I think if I were to put a name to the secret sauce, is it activates the human nervous system, the human body that we each have, which I call the universe's most amazing manifestation machine. And so the strategic attraction planning process activates each of our nervous system, so that it allows us to then begin to make decisions based on what's important to me, and not think that I have to go outside of myself and find right answers.
Okay, we'll take that. That's good. That's good. Julia, so you are one of our long-term loyal raving fans of strategic
Woohoo!
attraction.
I'm a cheerleader too.
You
I
are,
even have a bouncy chair.
and we love you for that for sure, and appreciate you so much for that. And what would you say is the secret sauce,
What
the
do
the
you think I'm
magical
going to say?
attracting factor to strategic
Magic is the secret sauce.
There you
Um,
go.
well, let's see. What would I say? I would say that it is what you guys are saying. First of all, the traction plan works. I've been using the traction plan with people for about almost 15 years, so it's almost as long as the book was out. So as soon as the book came out, I started using it, and it was right away I started noticing results in myself, but I was actually embarrassed to share it publicly with my graphic design clients. This is what Alan is referring to, because I didn't want them to think that I was, woo woo. Okay,
Mhm.
which I totally am. So that's the thing.
You
Why
don't know
would
the
I,
truth
why
until.
would I create a business that I had to hide out in? Well, a lot of us, that's what we're doing. In fact, that's what most people are doing, I've discovered. So as soon as I did the attraction plan, it worked for me. And as soon as I joined the SACAT program, I was able to see how it works for everybody.
Mhm.
And all those 17 people that were in our starter program, um, and when we all got together and shared, to me, that was the secret sauce of the program itself, was the retreat. And because, as I said earlier, it was at the retreat where I realized some things that impacted my business and what makes me unique forever.
Yeah.
I mean, what I do, I have always channeled visual brands for people since I was got
Mhm.
in college. So I'm an artist and I have this ability to express ideas through visuals and also through words in a cohesive way. I've always done that, and I considered it channeling. um, but what I wasn't able to do was create a process that people could understand what I was doing. It was all me intuitively doing it. But when I got the attraction plan, I was able to share that with everyone, first of all, and I'll share about that too in a little while about how I use it to attract clients. But I share with everyone, have them do that first, and then we talk about what's in their attraction plan. That helps us to go into the core of what is perfect for them. What so often we do when we're thinking about our business and marketing is strategize completely outside of ourselves, way over here in this idea of what other people might want. And so what the traction plan does is get them to just forget about all of that and start within what's perfect for me. And I think that that is a revolutionary question for people who are serving other people all the time. So
Mhm.
especially women who are just raised to be all about other people, but pretty
Mhm.
much anyone who is a sensitive human being, is going to be able to really get into the core of who they are in a new and different way than ever that they have before. And then that becomes the perfect foundation for an authentic brand that only they have, that's so clearly just them and only them in the world. And
Yeah.
that's a great brand. So
Yeah.
that attraction plan, as Alan was saying, that gets to what's important to me.
Yeah.
It starts from inside, and that's, to me, that is the beautiful secret magical sauce.
Well, I love one of the things that you shared with me about how you have an offer on your website for a attraction plan, and then like how you attracted Jan Van Zant, for example. That was a great
Right.
story.
Oh, you want me to share the Janla story?
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
Mhm.
for ever since I became certified as a strategic attraction plan coach, a SACAT, I started using the attraction plan as a way to attract people on my website to opt in. So I created what I called the Magical Marketing Toolkit, and it includes a workbook that I was able to use my own wording and how I did it. It wasn't like you forced me to use a specific template. I was able to use my own creative uh, ingenuity to create this, and a place where they can do their own attraction plan and actually create the foundation for their new brand. And then I have it to automatically send them a letter a couple days later that says, have you started your attraction plan yet? And I have had the same thing for about 10 years and it still works really great.
Mhm.
Um, and so one day I got a call. Well, just to preamble that, so I have on my attraction plan, sometimes I'll put people that I want to connect with. Sometimes there's certain people. And one time there was Ian Van Zant was on my list because she's a very powerful black woman speaker, like a spiritual guru type. They used to call her Guru from the Hood when she was on Oprah. And then she had disappeared, and I wanted to interview her for a project I was working on. And so I wrote her down on my attraction plan. And that's almost all I did. I called a couple of friends, but nobody knew how to get a hold of her, and that was the end of it. That just died there until I got a phone call. Hi, it's Iyanla. I I got my magical toolkit and I want my session with you. I want my magical strategy session. And so this was a voicemail I got, and I couldn't believe it. I just thought there's got to be another person named Iyanla in the world that is, because it couldn't
Probably
be
not.
Iyanla Van Zant, right? I went and I looked, and she was actually using her maiden name, so I didn't actually know it was her until we'd been talking for about an hour after I called her. And I was like, oh, really? This is you? It suddenly dawned on me, you are the Jan Van Zant. So she was just like, oh, yeah, I use my maiden name. I guess she didn't want me thinking, oh, it's this famous movie star TV star is calling me. I should charge her $1 million. But we ended up doing a website for her. And, here's the thing. Just doing a website for her would not have gotten her back on Oprah. But what did get her back on Oprah was the attraction plan. This is what I declare.
Oh, wow.
Because she called me at a time when she had not been on TV for many years. She had gone through just the worst, horrible experiences she outlines in her book, Peace from Broken Pieces. And, she lost her daughter to cancer. She lost her show. She lost her book deal. She lost her house. She lost her husband in an email. Like all these things had gone wrong. And she was looking for how am I going to get myself back on track? And that's why she called me. I need my attraction plan. She knew she wanted to attract some magic.
That's
Not only
great.
that, she wanted a website while she was at it. And so we did that, and we were able to launch her site 2 weeks before she went on Oprah. And now she is a big star on Oprah's network,
Yes,
and she
she is.
completely rescued Oprah's network. So
Yes.
she should be thanking you, Jan, really, because she can thank all
That's
of us,
great.
but I'm going to take credit for that.
Yes. That's great. And I love that you had put her name on your attraction plan. And I found that in the attraction planning process, that's just a little secret sauce that I've done. You can put a name, or I can actually, yes, it might be, I can put a name, or I could put a phrase or a script, even what I want people to say. And it's
Yeah,
amazing how
I
that'll show up.
know.
I
They say
know.
it.
It is
Yeah,
magic.
and
There you go.
I want to acknowledge you for having the courage, also the creativity and the imagination to put this offer on your website. Just a little, and like you said, it's been there for years and it just keeps working. And law of attraction just allows that to happen. And the fact that you attracted this amazing person supported you in fulfilling on a lot of what you were having on your attraction plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah, I wanted to attract more African American women because I believe that they're like the ones that we should be listening to when we're creating the new humanistic society.
Yes.
So it's just amazing how that's really come about, over
yeah,
these past few
so
years.
yeah, so
Well, I'd like to.
it's a perfect example of how you had just creative ingenuity, put the attract, became certified, and then made it available to your customers in this seemingly simple way. That's what we call the power of strategic synchronicity.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it'd be a good idea since some people are listening in, and we've mentioned SACAT, we've mentioned strategic attraction planning. Not everybody knows what either one of those are. So, first of all, I'm going to share just briefly what a strategic attraction plan is, and then I'd like to share what the SACAT program is all about. And I'd love for you, Julia, to also say, why are you so gracious and generously inviting your people to join you today to hear what your perspective is. I mean, we know why we want you to, but I just love to hear, in a little bit, giving you a heads up in a little bit, why you're willing to come make this webinar with us. So be thinking
Okay.
about that. And Alan and I can share about the strategic attraction plan real briefly. Do you want to start us out on what the strategic attraction plan is, Alan?
Well, there's actually 5 steps. They're all on the back cover of Being Attraction, What Love Has to Do with Business and Marketing, our
We're all
global
about to be.
best. Yes, we're all about to be. And there's 5 steps. The first step is describe the qualities, characteristics, and attributes of your perfect customer. And this is where most self-development programs, this is all they do really. And this first step can be extremely powerful because what I've found is people have I don't know, a limited belief or a block, or they say, you mean I get to say what the qualities are of a customer that would be perfect for me? Yes. And so that's the beginning of the transformation, the dipping yourself into the secret sauce, you might say, is step number 1. Describe the qualities, characteristics, and attributes of your perfect customer.
Yeah. So step number 2, we've been talking a little bit about that. Julia mentioned that for sure. But step number 2 is to identify what makes me and my perfect customers tick. So I'll say it again. What makes me and my perfect customers tick? And this is where we take a deeper dive just beyond the surface things that we want to show up in every relationship. And the deeper dive is where I look inside of me and understand that if it's important to me, if I value it, my perfect customers, my perfect relationships will value the same thing. They may call it a little bit differently than I do, but pretty much the same. What we found that relationships, whether that's any kind of relationship in business or personal relationships, the sticking factor, you can call it what makes us stick, that this is the glue that keeps the relationships together. And so for in business, that could create, like Joya became a long-term loyal raving fan. And she's been raving about us for years, thank you. And there's similarities in what makes us both tick, and that's why we've maintained our relationship over years. And so if you want that with all of your relationships, you'll eventually recreate everybody in your whole surrounding communities, no matter how extensive that is, to be in vibrational harmony with what makes you tick, what makes me tick. And then it just makes it a lot more fun to hang out with people that honor you and you honor them for what they're all about.
Yeah, getting what makes you tick really is a transformational piece, which then leads to the third step, which is specify what I want my perfect customers to expect of me. And this third piece really is where we put an end to suffering, because it's what do I want to provide my perfect customers? It turns out, as Jan mentioned just a minute ago, my perfect customers want from me what I want to provide. So step 3 gives me an opportunity to really distinguish 2 things. First, go deeply into, well, what is it? What is important to me? What do I want to provide to my customers? And the second piece is we discover that there is a whole group of perfect customers out there who want from us what we want to provide. So we're not alone anymore. And step 3 really allows us to connect in a very, very powerful way with our community.
Yeah. It also, I love about step number 3 is it ends suffering because I'm not complaining about other people anymore. So that's one of the big tips of part number 3. All right, so part number 4 is to declare, and I put a real underscore under that word, declare. I'll talk about that in a second. Declare who I get to be. Where's my be? Who do I get to be? So declare who I get to be to attract everything I say I want that I've written on my plan. So my attraction plan is really that map that I talked about earlier, the map to my awakeness and awareness of who I want to be in the world. And what most entrepreneurs do is they do too much doing. They want to be successful, and so any successful entrepreneur knows they're going to have to do a lot. Well, one of the very important things that is stepped over is this part number 4, declaring who I get to be to attract what I want. So let me give you an example. Let's say that I want a 6-figure business or even a 7-figure business. So here's the trick question. Who do I have to be to attract that? Who do I have to be? Well, it's really a simple answer. I have to be someone who has a 6-figure or 7-figure business. If I want a 6-figure business, I've got to be that. And I take my actions from the place of already being that success. And that's what kicks everything into motion.
Yeah, so step 4 really establishing getting the power of establishing my being. For example, as Jan said, as a CEO of a 6-figure business consistently, that then leads to my actions, as she just said, and my being underlies and supports each of my actions. So this principle of learning how to create my being and shift my whole world as a result of it is one of the most powerful realizations that you can have, and it happens in step number 3, and then or
4.
step number 4. And so step number 4 leads to, of course, the action. Step 5 is, what are the attractive actions I need to take in order to fulfill on that which I say I want in my attraction plan. And that being piece that Jen just described in step 4 becomes a part of my goal setting and action program.
So there's the 5 steps that are creating $1,000,000 businesses, that are creating more joyful relationships, that are creating people to be able to be in a business that they love, or to work inside of a job where they don't feel like they're checking the soul at the door every day. So that simple 5-step map that we just described to you is the heart of our SACAT program. But
Yeah.
before we go into that, let's check in with Julia. Julia,
Hi,
what do
I'm
you want
still
to
here.
add in here?
About the attraction plan, maybe?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm just going to say that, just to reiterate, that I have seen this attraction plan hundreds of times work in people's lives, and it just works the way that it is. I was thinking about one of my clients who, um, well, she was a little bit nervous about hiring me to do her website. Well, she loved me. She was taking my classes, but she actually, it turned out, she said, I don't know, what if I'm not successful? And I said, I said, why are you planning for your failure? And she just immediately got it because we had already been working on her attraction plan for a number of months. And so she was able to immediately recognize when her thinking and expectations were off from her attraction plan. So she signed up to do the website, and what ended up happening was during the process of revealing herself visually, it's basically taking her attraction plan and creating a visual for it. Her soul is being revealed through this imagery, and she was very, very nervous about it at first. So nervous she was fighting with me a little bit. But we broke through that, and we created a beautiful website for her. And what was so amazing about it was more than just that she broke through, more than just that we have an amazing website. She now says, I live a more authentic life because of creating this website and brand with you. And that she shows up more now because of how we went through this process together. So that's the attraction plan. I mean, it's weird that those 5 little questions would make a big difference. Such a big difference. It is weird to me. I use it all the time, but it's deceptively simple.
Well, I have to say, Julia, that story right there describes and demonstrates to me the fulfillment of what you were looking for, 10 years ago, whenever it was we had that
Yeah,
first conversation,
absolutely.
where you wanted to make a difference for people and you were going to become a life coach. Well, the essence of coaching is, number one, asking intelligent questions, and number two, being able to listen to your customer. And so that's where you've taken the strategic attraction plan and used it to be able to ask those kinds of intelligent questions and then listen so carefully to the answers that people are giving you, that I love what you say. I'm so glad that we've got it recorded, because I'm going to go back and transcribe what you just described, because that's it. That connection. I can't even imagine what the connection you must feel with your clients.
Oh yeah, it's really deep, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And on the way past, okay, before I had the attraction plan, but I was channeling brands. I used to distract people into conversations where they would reveal their soul to me. And then one time, one client said, "Did you just charge me for that conversation?" And that was when I kind of knew, like, oh, well, I'm channeling, but later when I found the attraction plan, what was beautiful about that was I was able to have a structured conversation with them that had the same result, and that they can actually, and so you asked me, I guess, a million years ago, why I want to tell people about the SACAT program. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that now, but one of the reasons
Sure.
is I want to empower people in the same way that I was empowered. It was too loosey-goosey before I had the attraction plan. I didn't have a structure or any steps that I could take people through that had them reveal themselves to me so that I could create their brand. Okay, so that's just my specific concern, but everyone has a similar, need in their own specialty to know and understand the needs and wants and desires of their clients. And so this is it's great because it's that, and it helps them attract, it helps them to hone in their magnetism, to really refine their point of attraction and to start attracting. So I can say, look, this is a great way to prepare, but it's also going to transform your life in the process. It's a win-win for everything. It's not a
Yeah.
boring list of questions that you have to answer to do your brand. It's completely different.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times what happens is that people get really excited about the transformation that they had when we started the website and brand process, and they got to do this attraction plan and they want to use it with their clients. And the way to do that with the greatest, first of all, clarity, ability, and impact, and also with integrity, is to be a SACAT, to be certified
Yeah.
to use the attraction plan in with your clients. And that's what gave me the freedom. But when I just had the book, yeah, I was talking to people in my circle, like, you should get this book, and we had little reading groups and stuff like that before you had a SACAT program. But once I had the SACAT program, then I was able to really integrate it into my business in a really official, public, branded way over and over and over and over again, so that I could be, it's about integrity too. So I want people to understand that if they want to share this with their clients and really work with their clients to attract what they want in any area of their life, then becoming a SACAT is the way to do that. And you've made it so easy and frugal that it's a no-brainer. I mean, I have been in certification programs that were, one of them was $10,000. I hate to say it. And it's valuable stuff, but that's really hard for some people to come up with that amount of money,
Mhm.
even over a period of a year. So I really appreciate that you make the SACAT program accessible to the people. And I mean, I wouldn't have been able to afford it when I was starting out. It just wasn't doing as well back then, unless you had made it really easy for me, and you did, and you continue to do that to this day. So I hope that explains why I
Yeah,
wanted to
that's
invite
great.
everyone.
Yeah.
What I tell people, and this is no BS, right? Like, I'll never BS you when I say I'm not BSing you. But we've been hanging out for, it's been a while. I think it's 13 or 14 years,
Yeah.
and I can't measure. Like, we were talking, we love to say I made over $1 million using the attraction plan, which is true, but that's not really the only or even main benefit.
Mhm.
The main benefit to me is that I am really clear on what's perfect for me. And before I was doing the attraction plan, and before I was even at the SACAT retreat, even saying what I wanted was painful because I didn't believe that I could attract it.
Yeah.
And so I was like my client, but like years ago, right?
Yeah.
Was like kind of planning for my failure, and so far and so much that I wasn't even asking what I wanted.
Yeah.
And so I can't measure the impact because my whole life is completely changed.
Yeah.
So I just, you know,
Well, there it is.
namaste,
Namaste.
I just see the magician in me sees the magician in you.
There it is. Woohoo. So let me just share a little bit because we're going to draw close to our call in just a few minutes. And we wanted to give you some information about how you can learn more about the SACAP program, how you can learn more about strategic attraction. We have, for example, we have a teleclass tomorrow where we just go through the strategic attraction plan. And if you're interested in that, we can give you details about how to just attend that class, do your first attraction plan or your 100th attraction plan. It doesn't matter because every time you do an attraction plan, you hear something brand new. And then we have a Q&A call on Wednesday of this week. We want to invite everybody. We're going to tell you how you can get involved with that. And then you can always go to our website, which is perfectcustomers.com, and click under the product section, and there's a whole 10-mile long email that you can find out a little bit about it. But just to hit the highlights of what you're getting in the program, in addition to some of the things we've shared on today's call, is first of all, we are one of the, I think another secret sauce thing that I heard, didn't say earlier, that we hear from our people about is the direct personal connection that Alan and I have with our clients. And so in the SACAP program, you're not paying as much money as Lord knows I paid at least 10 times more or even more than that in a year for my own personal coaching transformation with other people. So what you're getting is that direct, close personal connection with Alan and I, in addition to 12 weeks of a certification training. You get a week-to-week phone call. So you've got the live interaction with your community plus the live interaction with us. And then it's backed up with a customer hub program where all of our training materials are online as your online resource. And the homework is in there, as well as you can do it ahead of time, you can do it after the calls. It's not so much that you're going to have to consider this your first full-time job to get it done. It's designed in a way that you can live your life, you can run your business, and you can become certified. So the first 12 weeks is a weekly call. Following the 12 weeks, there are monthly calls that you can come to for a full year to, one, connect with other members of the SACAT community, which everybody falls in love with everybody, so you want to connect. And each month there's an educational training piece in one of the monthly connection calls. And so you get really a whole year of training. In addition to that, we do a 2.5 day retreat, and you're able to come to our beautiful city of Santa Fe, New Mexico, land of enchantment. People love to come here for many, many reasons, and now they get to come here for our SACAT retreats. So that's included as part of your certification training. So you would expect to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for a program like this. In fact, I hear from people that they are paying those prices. I heard from a lady today that was signed up for another program that she thought she was going to get something similar, and she just said the program was flat. It was pure informational, but it didn't give her the structure and the pieces that you get in our SACAT program. Definitely, it's not flat. It is 3D, 5D, however you want to look at it. So,
13D.
Right.
13D. Anyway, in the SACAT program, you, like I said, you would have expected to pay thousands of dollars. But for our program, since we are really still launching, we reimagined this program last year. We brought it forward. We're going to honor this price for the first 100 people that come through the program, and then we're going to talk about raising the price. But it's only $2,000 if you pay for the price in full. We'll even do a payment plan if you don't want to come up with that just in cash. We'll do a payment plan for as low as $197. I mean, it's ridiculous, but you can get into the program and get all the value. You can be making money, and you can monetize
Right
that
away.
investment so quickly, right
Right
away.
away.
So, you
Pay
know,
your first
197, like,
$197, and we'll make
Next
sure you make the
day.
next $197.
That's right.
yeah.
How easy would that
And
be?
well, the training is so cool because in the first 12 weeks, in that we do have 5 modules of the plan, we look at the plan 2 different ways. So there's first a module on how to use the strategic attraction plan for yourself, and then the next class will be how to teach it to somebody else. It's right off the get-go. You are learning how to teach other people to use the strategic attraction plan. That's part of your training. We even have some people that are very creative. One girl put together a whole workshop of 10 of her best friends, and as she's teaching them, she's teaching 10 of her friends in her living room. So there's a lot of ways that you can get going right away. You're not going to have to wait a long time to get going. We want you started right away. So that's the program, that's the cost. The investment is, I think you'd agree, that's a very affordable investment, that not only this is that affordable, but it's going to fuel you for all the years to come in your business. It is a foundational piece. When you put this foundational piece inside of your relationships, your relationship with you, your relationship with your clients, and your relationship with your business, you have just created a foundation that is strong enough to last.
Oh, you
And
know what?
how
I
do
have
I
to
know?
share something.
Yes, say it.
So, I wanted to share because there's these little side benefits to working with the attraction plan all the time. So when I was in the SACAT program, my husband actually had not spoken with his uncle for 30 years, and that his uncle was the guy that did Thanksgiving every year. So my husband hadn't gone to Thanksgiving for 30 years. And I was sort of reticent to do my perfect mate attraction plan because I didn't want to attract a different new mate. I just wanted to attract new behavior in my current mate.
Yeah.
So I did do the attraction plan while we were in the SACAT, and one of the things that I wrote is that my perfect mate is forgiving.
Mhm.
And I'm just going to tell you, within a couple of weeks of
Mhm.
that, I mean, I swear it was within a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate that his aunt had passed away,
Mhm.
and we went to her funeral. And my husband was I was standing with his mother, and I said, "Look, Jerry, look, Steve and George are hugging." They were hugging. And
I remember.
she
Yeah.
said, "You don't," she said, "Are you kidding? Do you know how many years I tried to get him to come and forgive his uncle?" And I
Oh.
said, "All I did was write it down." And she was like, "What?" It's like, "All I did was write it down, Jerry."
Yeah.
It was amazing. That to me is just, that's why I call it magic. That is
There you go.
magic.
Yeah, it's the power of
That's what I
strategic
call love.
synchronicity right
That
there.
is it right there, I'm
Mhm.
saying.
Yeah, and I love there's one little story that I just tell very briefly about somebody who signed up for the SACAT program last year. She got off the phone with Jan, walked out of her office, and met a guy who owned the office building, and he had organized a workshop for all the businesses in the office building. And he said to her, "Geez, I just had one of the speakers drop out. Do you think you could come and speak at this workshop?" And she said, "Well, sure." And he says, "Well, what will you be speaking about?" And she had the copy of Perfect Customers in her book, and so she says, "Attracting perfect customers." And he says, "Done." She made enough on that one workshop to pay for her entire SACAT program. Now that's the power of strategic synchronicity.
Woo!
Yeah, there it is. Strategic synchronicity.
Get your
That really.
relationship right, and yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you get your relationship right, you get your business right, you get right with yourself. It's foundational work. So, like I said in the beginning, it is a map to becoming more yourself, being transformed, and to me, being a person that is clear about who they are in the world and letting their light shine as brightly as possible. Now, that's attractive. So, Alan, what's the best way for people to find out more about the SACAT program? Go to the
Well, I'll be
website,
sending,
would you
yeah,
recommend,
I'll be
or?
sending out an email to everyone who registered for this class. And by the way, there's people still chiming in now.
Yeah.
One
Hi,
after another, it's
everyone. We're hanging
chiming.
out.
My computer's been chiming all these emails that are coming. People are registering for this. And so I'll be sending out an email that'll have a link to all the information that you've talked about here. But of course, you can go to the website, www.perfectcustomers.com, and everything you need to know is there.
Yeah. So, if you do have a question and you didn't get it answered today, or you want to know more information, I'm opening my email to you or Alan's. I'm Jan at perfectcustomers.com. Shoot me an email. Alan is ALAN at perfectcustomers.com. And you can just write us and say, hey, I need this, or I have a question, or I'd like to schedule some time to chat with you. We're available to do that. And don't forget, we're going to be sending you an email, and it's going to give you information about our call both tomorrow and the next day. So, more to come. Our class is starting soon, about a week from today. No, is that right? About a little more than a week from today, so time is of the
Get on
essence.
that.
So,
Oh, I want to say a couple
get right
words.
on it.
Can I say a couple words, Jan, about the
Okay,
community? There's
absolutely.
people that I met at that first SACAT retreat that are still my friends to this day, and a lot of the people that I meet feel isolated and weird and alone, and what the SACAT community can provide for you is a place where you can be yourself completely, authentically, and be accepted and cheered on and inspired to go out and do what you're really meant to do in the world, and then give you the tools to be able to do it. It's really a cohesive and all comprehensive program that I would consider it's like a business in a box.
Mm.
And I often will send people, if you don't really know exactly what your business offering is yet, but you know that you want to help people and transform their lives and you'd like a structure to do that, this program will provide that, and you're just starting at $197, which is really amazing. And you're getting immediately put in with all the new SACATs that are joining the program, plus all of us who have been in the SACAT program over the years. So it's a really a great community of attraction wizards. And so hope
Okay.
that you decide to join. Now is a good time to join this wonderful community.
Sure.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for
Thank you.
creating it.
Yeah.
You're
I
welcome.
have one story, and I'll use this as our kind of our parting story. So, you mentioned community. That word's come up a lot in our call today. And so one of the benefits of community is that our community members do reflect back to us who we truly are. We can't see that for ourselves. I can't see it, but I can see it for Julia, and Julia can see it for me, and Alan can see it for me, and I can see it for him, and all around the room. And the thing about the SACAP program is we let it sit on the, like we said, it sat on the sideline for a few years because we were working on some other things. Me, I was doing some personal healing, and uh, when I kind of dropped my cloak of invisibility of that period of my life, I went to a conference and I ran into somebody that is near and dear to me, and his name's Alan as well. And he said, Jan, you need to talk to me and interview me about the SACAP program. And this was before we had reimagined and relaunched the SACAP program last year.
Wow.
And I said, well, of course I'd love to do that, but why? Why do you want me to do that? And since being in the SACAP program, he has gone on to be really well known in certain circles for the kind of company he keeps, the kind of clients he works with. And he's used the strategic attraction plan with CEOs of the likes of Hay House and other really recognizable names that all of us would know. And he said the reason he'd want to interview me is that the SACAT program was the catalyst and the foundational piece that allowed me to launch my successful business, just like Julia was saying today. And so that's the parting story is that uh, while even I, as the creator and founder of this work, can lose sight of what the business is all about, what my purpose is all about. Somebody brought it back around to me, and I was able to step back up and get out and play in the arena that I truly love to play in. And that's what we can do for each other in the SACAT community, and we see it happening all the time. So if that's something you want or you've been missing,
Come and
hey,
play with us.
that's right. Come
Come and
play
play
with
with
us.
us.
We'd
Oh,
love
I'm
to
gonna I'm gonna
connect with
throw in a bonus. How about that?
you. Really?
Yeah, I'm going
Okay,
to throw in a
cool.
bonus extemporaneously.
Wow.
I would love to do a brand clarity session with anyone that registers into the SACAT program. And so actually
Mm,
you can take that session anytime during the program when you want to clarify how you can express your brand through, with your new SACAT certification.
wow.
That's
Wow. We didn't know
perfect.
that was
So
going to happen.
I
Thank
didn't
you.
either.
That is absolutely perfect.
I didn't know
And
it either.
that'll go right along with laser coaching session. I mean, it's just so perfect, Julie. I can't believe you did that.
Yeah.
I don't
Thank
either.
you.
I think
Yeah.
it must have come from the ethers.
Well,
Okay, I
thank
have
you.
to write it
That's
down
very
so I
generous.
remember.
Okay. We'll text you and remind you you said this today. So, but
Okay,
that's really great, and we'll add that to the email that's going out to everybody. All right. Well,
excellent.
it looks like our time is about up today. Julia, thank you so much for my heart to heart, your heart, my heart. Thank you. And thank
Well,
you, Alan. And
Thank
thank
you.
you,
thank you to
everybody, for being
everyone
here
who's
today.
here. Virtual hug.
Yeah. Virtual
A
hug. We
big
had a great
yes
time.
group hug.
Group hug.
Okay,
And we'll
bye
connect
everybody.
Tuesday. Bye for
Bye.
now.